What up, dudes? Let's get this party started. All right, it looks to me like I'm pretty good as far as being ahead with stuff. I finished covering Rat 6 on Friday, and we can talk a little bit about Rat 6. It's really straightforward, I feel. Um, and I know that a lot of you guys were having trouble with Rat 3. Some of you guys were emailing me about having trouble with Rat 4 this morning. Why don't we take a look at that real quick? I'll show you folks what the problem is. All right. So for the first question right here, okay, I ask you about what does the what is the y-intercept, or where does the graph cross the y-axis? So I'm basically asking what is the y-intercept. And to do that, you would say x equal to 0. X equals 0, 0, and 0. So that would be negative 4 divided by negative 1 times negative 3. That would be negative 4 over positive 3, giving you negative 4/3. And you can either put in a few things. You can put in negative 4/3. You can put in negative 1.333. You can put in negative 1.333333. You can put in all of that kind of stuff. Here's the hard part that I'm having trouble with. Whoa. Okay, 1 second. Hello?
Hi, Tash. I got your thing. It did submit successfully, but I don't understand what you need. I need a little bit more detail.
Okay,
So
I'm
maybe
actually...
She really had a slow start.
1 second. I'm actually in the class right now, and I can't talk about that student. But
Okay.
I will send you an email, or I'll update your thing.
No, don't update it. Just send it to me, and I'm going to put it right directly in my document.
In your email? In an email?
Just in an email, no initials, nothing, and I'll know who it is.
Okay, cool.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, yeah. Here's the problem is I need to have you guys fill in the blanks. So this isn't a number that I'm telling the computer, evaluate this number. What this is it's more like I'm telling the computer, if they type in exactly this, then give them the correct answer. Then count it as correct. But I didn't tell you how many 3s you should have written. Maybe I should have said approximate, or only give decimals up to the hundredths place. All right, fine, I fixed that. So here's the problem is I think that Sophia put in this answer, 0.3333, and I only had these as the two options. So then this morning I went in and fixed it, and I said, okay, well, include 0.333 and also include this and also include this, but I can't do infinitely many options here. I can't think of every single thing that they come up with. So now that I added the word only include, or only give up to the decimals up to the hundredth place, technically this is the only right answer, but I'll take everything else. Does that make sense? So you didn't get it wrong. Your concept wasn't wrong. It was just maybe sloppy way of grading it, but I didn't really think of a better way to do it. Thank you for pointing it out, though. No end behavior choices. What happened there? No, this is the end behavior. Oh. Some say answer, no text answer provided. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, I'll tell you what. Here's what we'll do. Hold me close and hold me fast. Just a magic spell. You can. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay. Oh. Okay. So that question is messed up. And this question is messed up. I get it. Okay. All right. Yeah, Sophia, I'll give you credit now that I fixed it for that answer. All right, so here's what I'm going to do with this test that's coming up. First thing is I'm going to go to settings. I'm going to move the due date to be due on February 3rd. How's that? Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this thing, and I'm going to look at this question that has a problem here. The reason why I'm sure I know why this thing is because when I designed the question, I designed it like a multiple draw or a multiple fill in the blanks. But what it didn't do is the computer didn't recognize it as that, and it thought, oh, it's a multiple choice question. But I didn't provide any text for multiple choice. Stupid computer. So what I ended up doing was having to fix things. All right, here we go. So I guess I'm just going to give you the answers right here and now. Why don't we come up with the answers together? This is saying x cannot be equal to blank, and that a is for the blank. So what can x not be? Okay, domain issues at 1 and 3. So we'll go, you can give them credit if they type in a 1 or a 3. And then for b, give them the same deal, 1 or 3. All right, where are the x-intercepts? X-intercepts are at 2 and 4, so 2 or 4. So 2 and 4. All right. Now the y-intercept is at 8/3. Is that correct? Yes, you're right. So I'm going to say give them credit if they put in 8 divided by 3, or what is 8/3? That's I'm going to write down only include, yeah, 2.6. Yeah, exactly. Only include decimals up to the hundredths place. So technically, that means that you should only write 2.66. And that's the only answer I'm going to include because I gave the instructions right there very clearly. Update question. Okay, sorry about that. What happened is the computer didn't recognize this as a fill in the blank question. It recognized it as a multiple choice question, and then it says, hey, you didn't give me all the information I need. See, it's looking at this as a multiple choice, but I want to make it as a fill in the blank. So actually I'm giving you all the answer to your homework right now. But like you said, I got to fix it. So, all right. If there's a vertical asymptote at -1 and +3, oh, I see. Okay. Then let's Desmos this guy right here. Do you guys know how to do? Okay, so Desmos. All right. What you're telling me is that I'm going to have some kind of fraction, right? And that fraction is going to have an x plus 1 in the denominator and an x minus 3 in the denominator. I agree. -1, +3. The only x-intercepts are at x equals 1 and 2. So that tells me on top, is it +1 and +2? Yeah. So it's x minus 1, x minus 2. All right. F is a horizontal asymptote at -1. Huh. I think that just means a negative in front of there. Yeah? And the y-intercept is positive. Good, the y-intercept is positive. Okay. So, really, if I were to FOIL the top out and FOIL the bottom out, let me just double check to see what I get. I think it's something like x squared let's see, x squared minus 3x plus 2 divided by x squared minus 2x minus 3. Oh, I forgot to put in my negative. Negative here, a positive here, and a negative here. Good. Did you guys see what I did? Did I confuse anybody? So this is pretty straightforward. All I did was I FOILed it, and I got the top and the bottom. I just FOILed it in my head. I didn't do all the steps that you guys are used to seeing. So my A, B, and C is -1, 3, and -2. Oh, shoot. This thing is easier than that. It didn't even ask me to FOIL it. It asked me in this form right here. I see. Well, I don't like it like that. I'm going to change that. I want you guys to be able to FOIL it out. It's more accurate if you FOIL it out. AX squared plus BX plus C dx squared plus BCDEX plus F. Okay, how is it more accurate? Okay, fine, that's a good question. Well, my answer is this. If I ask you to keep it in this form right here, right? I didn't give you any spot to put a negative. So you would have had to absorb that negative into one of these parentheses. But you could have absorbed it into this one or the second one as long as you only did it to one of them. So your answer could be different. But if I ask you for the answer like this, then there's only one answer you could give me. It's -1, +3, -2. So -1, -1, +3, and -2. Oh, oops. This is D. And then the next numbers you can give me is all right, let's see. The next numbers you can give me is +1, -2, and -3. So 1, -2. Oh wait, no, I don't want that. 1, -2, and -3. Of course, you guys don't have anything to complain about because I'm literally doing the work for you today. But I'm fixing all of my mistakes. Are we cool with that? And I'll tell you what I'll do is I don't know if I'm let's see. All right, this will be good now. Exam a couple weeks from now. No, I don't know if I'll do a review. Maybe I will. Chapter 6 is kind of a review. If you already took the quiz, take it again, and you'll get a lot better points. I think we got to fix this one, and we'll do it together again. I got vertical asymptotes at a vertical asymptote at 2, x equals 2. So there's only one vertical asymptote. So that means what is in the denominator? Okay, I'll make sure to go over this kind of stuff. Actually, what I really wanted to do with you guys today is really just plan for the future because, like I said, I'm covered as far as like lectures for the next 2 weeks. I don't need to lecture on any of this because we covered all of Chapter 6. You guys just got to catch up on homework with what I've already lectured on. The next thing we're going to do is, well, let's finish this problem first because I think this is a good practice for us as a group. All right. Okay. What's in the denominator on this problem right here? X minus 2. I completely agree. X minus 2. Okay, what's in the numerator of this problem right here? There we go. X minus 1, X minus 3, and X minus 4. All right, fine. X minus 1, X minus 3, and X minus 4. Cool. And I told you that the y-intercept is positive. Is that the case here? Yep, good. For large x values, we can approximate this graph to be looking like x squared. So let me graph x squared. And you guys are thinking, oh, that doesn't look the same. And I'm saying, well, it kind of does when you zoom out. Yeah? And you're right, so Lucas, exactly. The top has a degree of a cubic function, whereas the bottom has a degree of a single x function. So x cubed over x is, so I can approximate that as x cubed over x, which is x squared, which is, y. When I zoom out enough, these graphs look almost identical. Although when you zoom in, be careful, don't zoom in, because this thing doesn't look the same at all. All right, so this is our graph right here. Boom. Okay, so what should I have you guys do? In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to stick with this thing. And I'm going to say, all right, -1, -3, and -4. Okay. I'm going to stick with this form. I'm going to switch up the form on you guys. And I'm going to say, all right, fine. Give me a fill in multiple blanks. And make it so that for A, they can plug in -1, -3, -4. For B, they can plug in either -1, -3, or -4. And for C, they can plug in either -1, -3, and -4. And for F, they can plug in either 0 or -2. For G, they can plug in 0 or -2. And then for H, they can plug in 0 or -2. Okay, wait. Look at the negative side of the y-axis. There's something on the bottom. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? On the negative side of the y-axis, when I zoom out, it doesn't go down. It goes up to infinity. Or are you talking about this thing right here? Oh, well, remember, The horizontal asymptote only applies when you're talking about really large x values. These values in the middle, they're not large enough for us to see these horizontal parameters play out. Does that make sense? It's only when you zoom out long enough that looks like a square function to me. X squared. That looks like a parabola. Now when you zoom in, it doesn't look like a parabola. Oh, how would you represent the end behavior? I don't think I asked you to represent the end behavior on this one, but I definitely would choose this graph right here. Right, because this graph looks like a parabola on the ends. Does that make sense to you? Sure. Did I not give you enough tries? Let's make this thing worth 8 tries. Okay, so it's due on the 3rd, it's worth 8 tries, and I gave you all of the answers. Well, we came up with the answers all together. All right. Let me just spend the last 5 minutes of my class, and I want to talk to you guys about what's coming up on the calendar. You're going to see on the calendar, let's see, that's for science. Where's my algebra? Here's the algebra. You're going to see on the calendar that I have all of these crazy amounts of assignments stacked up over here. Do you see that? Did you notice that? It's like on March 4th, there's like all of these assignments. And that's not how it's supposed to be. What I need to do is I need to distribute these things evenly. So I still need to distribute them across the, like this one on Monday, this one on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, this isn't any more assignments than is normal. I just happen to push them all into one day. Because I needed a placeholder for me to move things around it. Does that make sense? Yeah, March 1st on the calendar looks horrible, but it's not horrible. What we're moving into after this, and I want to talk about this, is what we're moving into is I want you guys to practice taking ACT tests. Because I know that SATs and ACTs are really important, and I know that they're stuff that you're going to have to get good at. And the only way really to get good at this stuff is just to do a lot of them. So we're going to be moving into a phase of this class where we're going to be doing a bunch of tests, and then I'm going to show you guys the answers to the test and talk about the ones you missed. And I will go through some chapters from an SAT book that I think is really good, that I like, to help you prep for the test, like teaching you how to cheat on certain things, teaching you how to take shortcuts here and there, teaching you how to use your calculator correctly, and all of that kind of stuff. I will be doing that, but be prepared to be taking some full-on tests. And I'm going to make these tests worth less points than I normally make them, because I want you to take them, absolutely, but I want you to just feel like you can practice with them. So that's why what's going to come up is this whole section on standardized test practice. And I'm going to do this before we cover exponentials. The reason for that is because the ACT, is there going to be class for the ACT and SAT before we take these assignments? Well, what I want you to do, what I'm probably going to have you guys do, is take the test early, so I can get a baseline of where you're at, what it is you're struggling with. Okay? So I'm going to make you take a test. I'll probably make you take a lot of these tests. And I'm not trying to torture you, although I know it is torture. But what I'm trying to do is get you guys used to taking these tests, used to taking these time tests, because that's one thing, that component that I definitely am not really hounding over you is doing your work quickly. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up as to that's what's coming down the pipeline. After we get to, after we finish a little bit talking about these standardized tests, we'll go back and talk about exponentials. Will there be exponentials on your SATs and ACTs? Yes, there will be. And I'll have to probably cover a little bit of it right now and then cover it in detail later in pretty much quarter 4. This quarter is mainly about rational functions, a little bit exponentials, and then next quarter is the finishing off exponentials and statistics. So that's basically the class in a nutshell. But there is this part on standardized tests, which technically I'm not required to teach you. I just figured it'd be nice for you guys to know what's coming up, because you guys are going to have to take these SATs and ACTs anyway. Yeah. What I'm doing is you're going to look at the calendar and you're going to see all of these things stacked up on one day. I just have them there so I can have them in my calendar, but they're not actually going to be assigned on those days. I'm going to take these things and probably space them out. I haven't even finished making the SAT tests and all of that kind of stuff. It takes a long time for me to sit down and do them all. There, I spaced it out. Does that make sense? So I just want you guys to know, because I don't want you to slack off, but I also want you to take these tests. And they're just straight up ACTs that got retired. So I mean, they're like the ACT from 2 years ago. And then what we'll do is, after you take these tests, you need to take these tests. Here's the thing that's going to change about these classes, though. You need to do these homework on time. They need to come in on the day that I have it due. Because you turn this thing on Tuesday, and then I'm going to lecture on it on Wednesday. Which means, or look, apparently, you turn this thing on Tuesday, and then I give you all the answers on Wednesday. Which means this assignment is, well, which means I'm going to close the assignment that, on the Wednesday. Does that make sense? So apparently it's only available up until February 17th, and then the answers will come out Is this the right one? Yeah. It's only available on February 17th, and then the answers will come out on February 18th in the morning. Let me just edit that. Here's all the answers. Edit. So the test will close and you won't be able to see the answers, obviously. And then on this thing at 12 in the morning, you'll be able to look at the answers and that kind of stuff. So I'm giving you the test, and I'm even giving you all the answers so you can grade your work. However, obviously you won't get the answers until after you've taken the test. And I can't go back and open them up. Here's the thing. I can't go back and open up old exams when we're doing these SAT tests because I'm giving you all the answers. So there'd be no point in letting you turn in late work. Does that make sense? So I'm going to be much stricter when it comes to that. But there's good reason for that. Okay. I'm just trying to give you a heads up as to what's coming down the pipeline. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I have to go. I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.